This is Keke's talk. She's on the rise. She's got the tea from day till night. Discussing music, news, and so much more. You gotta listen to what she's got in store. It's Keke's talk.
Hey, beautiful people, it's your girl Keke, and welcome back to Keke's Talk, where we keep it transparent about beauty, self care, and confidence. Today, we are going to dive into a topic that hits close to home for a lot of us: hair loss and hair breakage. Whether you have noticed extra strands on your pillow, thinning edges, or hair that just won't seem to grow past your shoulders, I want you to know you're not alone. And there are answers. So grab your tea, coffee, soda, whatever you may have, okay, and take a seat. And let's pour some knowledge into this cup, all right? So, understanding the difference between hair loss and breakage. First things first, let's separate the two because they are not always the same thing. Hair loss is when the hair actually falls out from the root. You might see the little white bulb at the end of the of the strand, basically. This can be caused by health conditions, stress, hormonal changes, or even certain medications. Hair breakage is when the hair snaps along the shaft, usually from dryness, overprocessing, or too much heat styling. The tricky part, both can make your hair look thinner, but the cause and solutions are different. So the usual culprits behind hair loss and breakage. I want to kind of explain that because I think that is so important. Let's talk about what could be causing your hair to thin or break. Some common culprits are tight hairstyles. That can be braids, that can be ponytails. You know, I got my hair in a ponytail right now. And wigs that pull on your edges can lead to traction alopecia. All right, and traction alopecia does it's actually pretty common, especially like I was saying for anyone that wear wigs, because it's gonna be hard on your edges. All right, and so yeah, that's very common. Heat damage, excessive flat iron. Who loves to like consistently flat iron the hair, right? Just doing it excessively, just too much heat to the hair can cause damage. Curling or blow drying strips moisture and weakness the strands. All right, so it does weaken your strands as more as when you consistently blow drying. It does take away the moisture from your hair. Right. So chemical over processing. So those are relaxers. Those are bleach, and frequent coloring can damage the cuticles. Poor diet and hydration. A lot of times we don't think the things that we eat, the things that we just put into our bodies can also affect our hair, but it can. All right, so your hair needs nutrients like protein, iron, and vitamins to grow strong. Stress and health issues. Now, we sometimes don't even think about how overall stress can affect our health. It can affect our skin. It can affect our hair. And a lot of times we don't link it. We don't put two to two together. But even stress and health conditions can affect our hair. Okay, it can cause conditions like PCOS, thyroid imbalance, postpartum changes, or even chronic stress can impact your hair cycle. All right, and yes, please do your own due diligence do your own research regarding these things. All right. Even talk to your certified health practitioner, regarding this. If you do think any of these things can be the cause, like postpartum or a thyroid imbalance, if you think those are that's the culprit of why you're experiencing hair loss, then definitely you need to talk to a certified health practitioner. All right. So what else? And then sometimes it's a combination of these things. So meaning that it can be a combo. All right. And when it's like that, then it can be very challenging to kind of figure out which one is it. Right. So which is why it's important to pinpoint the root cause. And it is very important. Like it's crucial to kind of be able to to figure out which one is the cause. All right, so let's dive deep into home remedies and hair growth tips. All right, and I want to make sure I am still recording. Yes, sorry, I just had to make sure, right, for my listeners, because it's important. I want you guys to be able to hear everything that I'm saying, because it's so important. Okay, so home remedies and hair growth tips. All right, so now for my favorite part, what you can do at home to start seeing improvement. All right, so scalp massages, y'all. So you can actually start these are things at home to start seeing like improvement. As you do these things consistently, there's a high possibility that you can start seeing results. All right, and so I want to talk, the first thing I really want to dive deep into scalp massages, because a lot of people sleep on this. A lot of people sleep on scalp massages. Okay, so using oils like Jamaican black castor oil, rosemary oil, or my Keke Growth Drops can stimulate circulation and nourish your follicles. All right, so moisture mask. Oh my goodness, a lot of people sleep on this one. So deep conditioning weekly with a moisturizing mask to prevent dryness and breakage. You can start doing it. And again, when I say a lot of people sleep on this, including myself, because I was like consistently had this in my roots when it came to my taking hair care routine. I had incorporated hair masking, and I've digressed. I'm just going to be very transparent here, because I believe in transparency. I've kind of started sleeping on this, meaning that I have not been doing this, and I used to. And this so when I'm recommending this, it's not something that I have not done. It's something that this is something that I did actually used to do faithfully, and I'm just being transparent with you guys now, and you guys know now that I have not done this. Oh my goodness, it's probably been a good year or two that I have like slowly kind of just not incorporated this in my hair care routine, and I need to get back into doing this. So but I did see results, and I noticed how moisturized my hair, how healthy my hair looked when I was incorporating my moisture mask. So that is something you should incorporate, and it should be done on a weekly basis. All right, so yes, so moisture mask, do not sleep on this. And I'm speaking for myself here that I need to get back into doing this, since I'm definitely mentioning it here to you guys. This is something that I need to do, so let's get back into it. But it is something that I did used to do faithfully, y'all, faithfully, and I did see results. So deep condition weekly with a moisture rising mask to prevent dryness and breakage is important. All right, maybe in a future episode I could kind of go in a little bit more into details as to what moisture masks is that I recommend. All right, so especially since this is something I've slept on, and I want to get back into incorporating this in my hair care routine. Right, moving forward. So protective styling, being mindful of what type of protective styling you are doing, like, to your hair. Right, so loose braids is important, so make sure your braids are loose and not tight. All right, that's important. Twists, you can start twisting your hair versus braiding, because sometimes when we braid, we tend to braid tightly, right? So you want to kind of start being mindful of that, and start making sure your braids are loose. But if you're like a person that's just like, I know I own it, I braid tight no matter what, then you might incorporate a twist instead. All right, that can be a more of a actual protective style. All right, buns are good, so that it gives your hair a break from daily manipulation. All right, because what you don't want to do is be the cause of your hair falling out, breaking off because of the fact of the type of hairstyling that you're doing. All right, and again, braids is usually like the main culprit when it comes to that. It's the main culprit of why your edges are starting to thin. Is usually the culprit overall. All right, and so as much as I love braids, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a period where all I was about was braids. I felt like that is what I needed to do, and that's how I felt like that's how I felt like braids was like the thing to do, as far as making sure that I was not manipulating my hair. And I thought it was the thing to do as far as not having to worry about my hair, because I was in a period of my journey at one point where I felt like being like messing with my hair was like a complicated chore that I didn't want to fool with. I'm just gonna put that out there. I felt like it was a complicated chore. I didn't want to be bothered with it, and I just felt like let's get braids. Let's get braids. I don't care if it's box braids. I don't care if it's micro braids, or I'm gonna say micro braids. Oh my goodness. I just had a brain freeze. Maybe it'll come to me, but yeah, I'm just gonna ride with box braids for now. Micros, yeah, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say, is micros. I feel like there's more, but oh well, I'm moving forward. All right, because I don't want to get sidetracked here. All right, so just know that when it comes to protective styles, you just got to be mindful of which protective styles you want to be mindful. You don't want your protective style to be the cause of why your hair is falling out. If that makes sense, hope that does. All right, moving forward, balance nutrition. Again, this is something, and including myself, that I don't think about. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't think about foods could be helpful. Also, there's certain foods that can be the cause of why your hair is falling out too. I mean, I'm just gonna put that out there. But also, there are certain foods that you can start incorporating into your diet that can help with hair growth. All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and name those for you guys. All right, so eat more protein-rich foods. All right, leafy greens, and of course, I can't stress this enough: water, y'all. Drink that water. This is coming from a girl that doesn't even like water, all right? But you do got to drink it, all right? So drink that water, sis. Hydration shows up in your hair. Again, I'm going to say that because I think that didn't get to the back. I think that didn't reach to the people in the back, all right? I'm going to say it again. Hydration, y'all, shows up in your hair, all right? So yes, you're going to have to drink that water, all right? Because once you start drinking water consistently and start, and you could slowly do this. You don't have to just like go in full force, especially for a person that have not incorporated water and have not drinking water in a very long time. Do it slowly but gradually, all right? And then the more you do it, you can increase it, bump it up until you're actually at a good normal amount of water that you should drink, which is 8 glasses. 8 glasses of water a day. All right, so just slowly do it until you at that 8 glasses of water. Okay, so definitely incorporate that. It's a must. All right, so trim regularly, y'all. Keeping your ends healthy prevents split ends from traveling up to the hair shafts. Okay, can't stress this one enough, because I am guilty of this. I'm guilty of not trimming my hair regularly. Okay, and the reason why, because at one point, and this is back when I were like when I was in my teens, early teens, my mom, well, I would beg my mom to take me to a hairstylist. And when she would take me to a hairstylist, I had some hairstylists that I felt like were very knowledgeable. Okay, I'm just gonna say knowledgeable. I had one that my mom used to take me to, and she was like, kid you not, she was very, she what's the word I want to say? She, when it came to talking about hair trim, she was pretty much an expert on that, just because of the fact that when she talks to her clients about hair, I would, watch her do this, and she would do it to me, but she would definitely tell all of her clients that, hair trimming is a must. Like, you must trim your hair regularly, because if you're not trimming your hair regularly, it's going to cause your hair to break off. Like, that's what she kept saying. So every time I would literally see her, that is something she kept saying to me. Like, okay, we got to trim your hair, because, I see where you got some split ends. If we don't address these split ends, it's going to cause your hair to start breaking off. So she was very, very, I'm just going to use the word expert on that, on those regards. Okay. And so, trimming your hair is a must. Like I said, there were periods of time that I would, I felt I would do some trimming to my hair, and then I felt like, my trimming start becoming more of a cutting, where I felt like I would get a little too carried away with trimming my hair, because there's a difference, y'all. It's a difference. There's a difference between trimming your hair to actually cutting your hair. Big difference. And you don't want to fall in a situation where you're actually cutting your hair versus you trimming it. All right. And so I would be like, okay, I'll look at my hair, and I'll be like, okay, it needs to trim, and then I'll trim it. And then I will look at my hair, like, say it's the next day, and I'm looking at my hair, making sure that I trimmed it really good, and I'm thinking like, okay, I need to trim some more. And so in my case, I felt like I was going a little too overboard. So when I feel like I'm going a little too overboard with it, then I'd be like, I step back, and I'd be like, you know what, I'm not touching my hair, because I obviously knew I went a little too overboard. I went from trimming to actually cutting my hair. Now my hair it's not where I want it to be, because now I was just trying to trim it so to help with my hair not falling out. Now it looks like I literally cut my hair, and so now my hair needs to grow. And so then I'm not touching scissors whatsoever, because at this point I'd be like, okay, I overdid it, and I know I overdid it. So then I will go in a pretty much almost a year to 2 year of banning myself from touching scissors, kid you not. All right. And so I would not touch scissors. And then all of a sudden I realized, as I'm combing my hair, there is some shedding, and I realized then, okay, and I'll look at my ends, and I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously I need to trim. So then I'll go ahead and trim. But I have to keep always telling myself, there's a mindset behind all this. Like, I gotta literally tell myself, like, girl, do not overdo it. Just focus on what needs to be cut, and make sure your hair is even. And yes, y'all, a girl that has curly hair, because I'm a curly girl, you literally gonna have to straighten your hair, like flat iron your hair, in order to properly trim your hair. Because if you're trying to cut your hair in a curly state, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, just because your hair is gonna shrink. I'm just gonna be honest. And this is coming from a girl that have literally trimmed her hair and being curly versus straightening it out. You're gonna have to straighten your hair out. I'm telling y'all this because, again, I've done it wrong, and I don't want you guys doing it wrong. I've done it wrong. All right. So, because I'm a curly girl. All right. There's times where I was so lazy and I didn't want to straighten my hair, so I would literally trim it as it being curly. Don't do that. Do not do that. Don't do that. So always straighten your hair out. If you have curly hair like myself, straighten your hair out. then proceed with trimming it. All right, and make sure you don't overdo it either, because again, like I was saying before, there's a difference between trimming to cutting. Big difference. All right, and like I said, I would get a little too carried away. I don't know if any of you guys can, like, it's, you know, can follow, like, not follow, but, you know, can agree with me and be like, yep, I'm the same way. Maybe that'll help me feel better, but I just know that that is who I am, been that way, and I don't know why I'm like that, but that is how I am. Kid you not. But just know that trimming is important, and that you don't want to sleep on that. You definitely want to do that. And also, if you know, if you're like myself and you know that you can get a little too carried away, don't be afraid to go to a hairstylist, a cosmetologist, and get them to trim your hair. I mean, don't be afraid of that. If you feel like, okay, yeah, I overdo it every single time, then go somewhere else and get them to do it. All right. But if you don't have the funds, that's understandable. Then do it yourself. But just be, you know, kind of already kind of talk to yourself before you grab those scissors, and just be mindful of not overdoing it. Also, make sure you straighten your hair out before you start cutting, because that's important. This is for my curly girls. All right. All right. All right. So moving forward. So now I'm bringing my own oils into the conversation, because I created each one to target specific needs, y'all. Kid you not. And I want to start off by talking about my Keke Growth Drops. All right. And I'm going to show it to y'all. All right. Let me show you, because I got it nearby. All right. Keke Growth Drops. Now, my listeners, I know y'all can't see it, and I apologize. I'm going to check to make sure that it is, y'all can still be able to hear me. Okay, cool beans. All right, so here's my Keke Growth Drops. For my listeners, definitely check out my YouTube channel. You can check out Keke YouTube channel, or you can check out Beauty After 40 with Keke, either one of those channels, to just to kind of be able to have a visual look of what oils, because I'm actually holding up my oils here. This is Keke Growth Drops, okay, and I'm going to explain each one to you guys. All right, so Keke Growth Drops, it can stimulate, right, your circulation. All right, it can stimulate your scalp circulation. Okay, so it's made with shea, Jamaican black castor oil, rosemary, biotin, and more. This one's a powerhouse. This oil is a powerhouse, y'all, for stimulating hair follicles, strengthening strands, and encouraging length retention. Perfect if you're dealing with thinning spots or slow growth. All right, so that's this Keke Growth Drops. So okay, so the next one is my pearl essence. Okay, here's my pearl essence right here. This is my very first hair oil, so I am very passionate about this oil. When I'm talking about, I'm passionate about all my oils, if I'm gonna be honest, but this one here, it I'm not gonna lie, I get like this tingly feeling when I'm talking about pearl essences, because it's my very first oil that I formulated, that I crafted, and I worked hard in all my oils, y'all. But this oil right here is special to me. It's truly special to me, all right, because it took time to craft it. It took time to craft all my oils, but this one here, I felt like I just felt like I had to get it right. I had to get it right, so it took more time to craft what I wanted from when it came to this oil right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys just kind of tell you more about this oil. Okay, so it's a lustrous lightweight blend that seals in moisture. It adds a healthy shine, like, you know, shine, and it protects against breakage. All right, it's great for everyday use, especially if your hair feels dry and brittle. So if you got that, if your hair always feeling brittle all the time, and you're gonna know if your hair feels brittle, y'all. You're gonna know, because it feels like crunchy, feels kind of hardened a little bit. Have you ever like felt your hair and it feels really hardened? Like, that's brittle. All right, and you want to protect that, because if your hair is starting to feel brittle, more than likely your hair is in the phase of it, you know, it's going to be in that phase of where it's going to start breaking off, and you don't want that. All right, so this oil will protect that. This is a very light oil that you can use daily, so do not hesitate when it comes to using this oil. You can use it daily. Also, you can even use it more for okay, let me use this, apply this at night and then wash my hair. So like a washing oil. If you want to use it for that purpose, you more than welcome can do that. Do just that. I tell everyone that you can do that with all my oils, to be honest. All right, but this oil you can use on a daily basis and not feel like, okay, if I use this daily, it's gonna eventually oil down my hair. No, not with this one. This one's very light, and you're gonna fall in love with Pearl Essence. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback regarding this oil. All right, regarding this oil. All right, moving forward. All right, let's talk about my Gentle Joy, because that's another one that I enjoy talking about, but also my kids were my motivation when I made this oil. My boys. All right, my boys and my babies. I love them. They are getting older on me, but they still my babies. Even though they don't like to be called babies, they my babies. All right, so Gentle Joy was made with them in mind, as well as for every child who is dealing with sensitive skin. Also, my nephew, when I crafted this oil, I was even thinking about him, because he's been dealing with what is called eczema. All right, it does kind of run in my family, and so my sister deals with eczema, my mom deals with eczema, my two nephews. I want to say, I don't know if my oldest nephew, my sister's oldest son, if he deals with eczema like that. I think he have dealt with it, but I know my my sister's middle child and her youngest definitely. And so her youngest, he just got done dealing with eczema, and it was pretty bad. And so while he was dealing with his flare up, I literally was thinking of him, thinking of, okay, what could I do where my sister can use this for him, because he was dealing with eczema. All right, so y'all, Gentle Joy was made to make sure that if your child is dealing with eczema, dealing with any type of rash, that this is going to help. And I'm going to explain why. All right, so it's designed for kids or anyone with ultra sensitive skin and scalp, with jojoba oil, apricot oil, and vitamin E. It nourishes gently while preventing dryness and breakage. And y'all, when you smell this, y'all, oh my goodness, you're gonna fall in love. It smells like vanilla, y'all. Like, kid you not, my boys, when they smell it and they're putting it on, because they love putting on Gentle Joy, they just love it. And when they smell it, and they're like, oh my goodness, it smell like I think they say it smell like ice cream. And does it smell like ice cream to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, it smells like ice cream. No, who said no?
Vanilla.
Oh, you said vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla.
I thought you said no. Vanilla. Okay, they said vanilla, y'all. So they do love it. All right, they love it, and I think that your kids is going to love this oil. Now, I'm going to tell you, moms, dads, make sure you don't have your oils, especially for younger kids, that put things in their mouth, that drink things. Please don't have it where they can get a hold to the oil, okay? But definitely, have it up high, and definitely monitor the oil and just apply it on them. But don't let them, be able to get a hold to it and put it on. I just want to, put that disclaimer out there, because I don't want any child, trying to eat the oil or drink the oil or however, okay? I do not want that. And me being a mom and know all about what kids, especially at a younger age, what they can do, I'm telling you now, please do not. Definitely have the oil where you are monitoring it, that you're the one that's applying it on them. All right, I just want to make that known and say that. All right, but this oil is good for kids. All right, so if your child deal with a lot of dryness after they take their bath or take their shower, you definitely this oil is good. It's perfect for you to apply it after they out the shower or out the tub. And apply it on them. All right. Parents is going to fall in love with this oil. This oil, you're going to fall in love with it. All right. So this was made definitely with love. It was made to make sure that this was specifically for targeted for people who is dealing with sensitive skin. So meaning kids, because this is marketed for kids. All right. So yes, but adults, you can use it too, because this adult right here uses it faithfully. And it does smell like vanilla. All right, it smells like vanilla. To me, vanilla, a little hint of chocolate almost. And that's because of the fact that it does have Jamaican black castor oil in it. So to me, it almost has that like chocolate scent as well as a vanilla scent. But the vanilla, you can definitely smell immediately as you're smelling it, but you're going to fall in love with this oil. No matter what, you're going to fall in love with this oil. All right. So moving forward, let's talk about legacy men, because legacy men, y'all, my kids, and this is another story, because when I'm talking about my oils or when I'm talking about any of my cosmetic products, y'all, I always incorporate my kids into it. I always, my babies, when it comes to my handmade, my handmade products, my kids are always my testers, all right? And they're my testers because I know that any product that I'm making, I am making it for people who have sensitive skin. So I'm making it for where it's kid-friendly as well as adult-friendly, all right? So let me go ahead and show you guys Legacy Man. This is how Legacy Man looks, y'all. So this was marketed for the men's, and I did mention my boys, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this story, true story, all right? So my boys, I was letting them try, because I'm like I told y'all, they always trying out my stuff. Like as soon as I'm like done making it, I'm pouring it into an oil glass bottle like this, and I automatically letting them try it on their skin or their hand or whatever. I give them, I put a little drop on it, let them rub it in, and I get their opinion on it, right? And then when it came to my Pearl Essence, before I actually sold Pearl Essence, I let them try it for some days. I think even almost close to a week before I actually started trying to sell it, all right? So when they tried Pearl Essence, their response was, who's this for? Who's this for? That's what they said automatically. I'm like, okay, do you like it though? Yes, I like it. I like it. They said they like it. And I'm like, okay, you like the smell? Yeah, I like the smell. I like it. I like it. And it was like, who's this for? And I said, it's for everybody. And they gave me that look like, okay, it's for everybody. I'm like, it's for everybody. And it was like, okay. And you know, you could see, you know, just by your child's reaction that they're thinking really hard, and you know, their minds were working, their brains were working, right? All right, so that's Pearl Essence. Okay, Pearl Essence. That's the one that I told you is my lightest oil, my very first oil. All right. Moving forward. So my next oil, my second oil, was my strawberry oil. That's a body oil, and no, I don't have it where you guys can see it. And the purpose or the reason behind that, because that's not marketed for the hair, is more of a body oil. All right, but it is a strawberry oil. And so I let them try my which is called Keke Strawberry Glow Oil. All right, that's the name of it. All right, and I love that oil. Oh, I love that oil. And that oil, that's another oil that gets positive feedback. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize how much positive feedback I was really going to get on that oil. I don't know why, but my mindset wasn't really, I didn't really think people was going to be so thrilled about that oil. But y'all, a lot of people is crazy about that oil. But anyway, let's get back on what I'm trying to say here. So I had my kids to test it. I haven't put it on their wrist, their arm like I always do. They put it on, they tried, they smell. They're like, it smells like candy. I'm like, okay, do you like it though? They're like, I like it. And they're like, who's this for? And I'm like, what do you mean who this is for? Like, who's this for? Is this for men? Or they say this for men or is this for girls? I'm like, it could be for both. It was like, no, you're not going to say that, not on this oil, you're not going to say this is for men. This is clearly for ladies. And I'm like, no, this could be for men. I kid you not. I said, I kept telling them that. They gave me that look, and they gave me that hard look too, y'all. Their facial expression wasn't like how it was with the Pearl Essence. The Pearl Essence, I think I kind of convinced them that it can be for both. But when it came to my Keke Strawberry Glow Oil, y'all, they wasn't having it. It was like, no way. This is for ladies. This is not for men. I'm like, but there's men that love strawberries. Like, they love the smell of strawberries. So I'm confident that there's some men out there that would be happy to use Keke Strawberry Glow Oil. But however, they were like, no way. This is clearly for girls, and it's not for men, all right? This is not for the boys, all right? And so once they said that, and once they felt that way, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to take a step back. I'm gonna have to take a step back, because clearly at that point, y'all, I was supposed to had went ahead and put my Keke Growth Drops out But my Keke Growth Drops actually took a step back. And it took a step back just because I was mind bothered. I'm like, okay, if I have kids here that is really like, having a hard time, with my, keep in mind, I had 2 oils that's already out, my Pearl Essence and my Keke Strawberry Glow Oil. And of course, as much as I love selling to ladies, I'm at a stage in my life where I want to sell to men as well as ladies. All right, I want to sell to both. All right, and so I have my kids where they're really feeling like, okay, these oils are clearly not for guys. At least that's how they're feeling. All right, and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing here, but my kids are telling me something different. So I had to take a step back. I'm like, okay, you know what? Bump that. Let me hurry up and craft something up. And when I make my oils, I'm just gonna be very transparent here. When I make my oils, y'all, I literally go and I will go on Google. I'm just gonna be very transparent here. I'll literally go on Google and I list up different oils. Okay, which oils that I want to have and formulate for my next new oil. So I literally try to pick out which oil, and then also I type in what, like, okay, so I type in what I want my oil to do. Like, so for example, if I want it to be for hair, I would type in what is some good oils for hair, what is some good oils for the skin, for the body. So these are, kid you not, these are things that I do literally on Google. All right, so once it pulls up a list of oils, different oils, like it'll pull up almond oil, for example, it'll pull up fractionated coconut oil. Then I take a step further and type in what is some good oils for sensitive skin, because again, I'm marketing to sensitive skin people. So and then Google will do its thing. It'll give me some, some sites, some things that I can go on. So I will literally go on each site, and then I'm got my notebook, writing it all down. Kid you not, I'm writing it down. And then once I literally do all of that, y'all, then my brain starts to working. Like, okay, I'm pinpointing, like, okay, I want to use this one. I don't want to use this one. I want to use this one. I want to, kid you not. So that is how I clearly start creating up my formulation or my recipe when it comes to my oils, y'all. Kid you not. All right. So that's how I get to going and doing all that. All right. So anyway, once I went back, I'm gonna call it my laboratory, all right, my laboratory, and try to figure out, okay, what kind of oil can I do, because for men. So then I realized, okay, you know what, I can literally do a beard, like a oil specifically for the beard, like specifically for hair and the beard and for men's skin. So this is where Legacy Man became born. It became born because of my kids, for sure. Now it's not, I'm gonna own it and say this though. I was going to eventually make an oil like this for, and put it in my cosmetic line. I had intentions of doing so, because I even pretty much had said that much, to my boys and to my husband, that I was going to eventually make an oil specifically for the guys. But I wasn't really ready to do it right away until my boys just like, they kept saying, who's it for? Every time I make an oil, who's it for? For men, for ladies, who's it for? So like, okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and make this oil like ASAP. So I finally did that. All right, when it came to, so that's how Legacy Man became born, because of my boys. All right, because I just gotta like say that because it's the truth. All right, and so when it came to Legacy Man, I wanted to make sure it was definitely a grooming oil. I wanted to find an oil that's going to condition men's beard, as well as their hair, as well as their skin. All right, so I want their skin to glow. I want them to smell good. I wanted them to smell masculine. All right, so I was trying to do my research on what is some good essential oils that are good for like masculine. Because I was going for masculine. I'm not going to lie. I was going for masculine. But I wasn't just going for masculine. I was also going for what's something that's going to be helpful for people who are dealing with sensitive skin. What is something that is going to be good for the skin? What is something going to be good for the hair? That was all important to me when I crafted and made this oil. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into nitty details about Legacy Man. Okay. So Legacy Man. So again, it's a hair and beard oil. So it's for my fellas, or ladies, because y'all, I've been using it too. I'm just going to put it out there. I've been using it too. So ladies, don't sleep on this oil. All right. Because it's for hair growth. All right. All right. So, caring for it. So it's caring for your textured beards and short styles. It helps condition the hair. It softens coarse textures, and it keeps the scalp healthy. So it'll keep your hair scalp healthy. If you're dealing with coarse texture hair, it is going to soften your coarse texture hair. So you're going to start seeing a big difference in how your hair is looking if you're using this on a consistent basis. But your hair is going to smell really good. So it has that masculine scent, but also it has that sweet masculine scent, if that makes sense. But you're just going to have to try it. You're going to have to try it. And yes, y'all, you can always try my products. All right, you can try my products. All right, you can schedule a consultation, a one-on-one appointment with me, and you get to try out products, as well as I get to know about your skin, and I customize things for my clients. All right, so don't sleep on me. Don't sleep on me. Please don't sleep on me, because you're gonna fall in love with getting your skin back to its a state where you're gonna fall in love with. I have people like literally right now, when they're, because when I'm, meeting with my friends and things, when they give me hugs, they're automatically feeling my skin, y'all, and they noticing a difference in my skin. Like, a lot of times I'm not even thinking about my oils. I'm not thinking about my lotions that I've been making, my moisturizer cream, my body washes. I'm not thinking about any of that stuff when people are hugging me. I'm just, hugging them back. We're having a conversation, we're talking, and they're feeling my arm and my skin, and they're like, "Girl, your skin feels good. It feels soft. Like, what are you using?" Kid you not. True story. It happened yesterday. True story. Right. So, I had to tell her. Like, I didn't think to tell her right away. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think to tell her right away, because she kept asking me, like, okay, what are you using on your skin, because your skin feel really soft. And then it dawned on me, like, okay, I've been using my oils, and I had to say, have any of y'all done that? Have y'all don't really give yourself like the recognition that you should give yourself, or give yourself a pat on the back, or even when someone is complimenting on something that you've been doing, it takes you almost like a delay for you to to own why it's that way. Like, do y'all do that? I know I do that a lot, and I don't know why, but I do that a lot, and I gotta stop doing that, but I do it. Okay, maybe because I'm not a conceited person. That might have a lot to do with it. I'm really not a conceited person. I'm not a person that just love to brag on myself. Maybe that's where I'm at with that. So yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. True story. Again, people are noticing about my skin, y'all, and I've literally been just using my stuff right along with my Mary Kay stuff, because I don't sleep on them either, y'all. Do not sleep on them. So if you don't have a beauty consultant, hit your girl up, all right, because you're gonna always find me talking about my Mary Kay products right along with my own Keke Beauty Care cosmetic products. Those are the products that you're gonna hear me talk about faithfully, y'all. So don't sleep on those products. Do not sleep on those products whatsoever. If you're sleeping on them, don't. I'm telling you, I don't. And if you have questions or concerns about anything, please always hit your girl up. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to even do a consultation appointment with you, where we can sit down and we can talk about how we can get your skin at a place where you want it to be at. If you're not happy with your skin, if you're starting to see a lot of whiteheads and you're not happy with that, why are you just trying to deal with that on your own? Hit me up. All right. So this is Legacy Man, y'all. So I think I'm done talking about Legacy Man, but I just want you to know, if you have coarse hair, it helps with softening that. It also helps with conditioning the hair. Okay, so that is Legacy Man. All right. So last but not least, I want to talk about an oil that I literally just made last Friday, y'all. I just literally made it. I just launched it. I kid you not. I just launched it, and I want to talk about it. All right, let me get it. And I have it here nearby. And I'm sorry for my listeners that's not able to literally see this oil, but definitely go to my 2 YouTube channels. And also you can go to Keke Beauty Care Expert, which is my Facebook page. You can go to any of those 3 sources and look up this my podcast video All right, look it up. All right, and you get to see it everything visually. So this is it, my new baby, my new oil craft that I just crafted last Friday. All right, but you're gonna fall in love with this oil. All right, so this one is called Floral Harmony Hair and Body Oil. So it is for the body as well as the hair. All right. Oh my goodness, y'all gonna fall in love with this oil, right? So let me go ahead and just kind of explain this oil. So it is infused with jasmine, ylang. Again, my pronunciation is horrible, y'all. So you gotta trust me on this one. Yingling. Okay, it has rose in it, right? So this one hydrates. This oil right here, y'all, hydrates. I'm gonna say it again. Hydrates deeply while promoting scalp circulation and calming inflammation. It calms inflammation. All right. Plus, it smells heavenly. It smells so good, y'all. Like, I kid you not. It smells so good. You're gonna fall in love with this oil. All right. My sister, I had her to try it yesterday. She loved the way that oil smelled, y'all. She loved it. I had my brother-in-law to try it. He's like, okay. He's like, I sprayed it on him because my demo is a sprayer, y'all. So I sprayed it on him. I told him he had to rub it in. So he rubbed it in, he smelled it, and he was like, it's okay. He was like, I smell like a girl now though. I'm like, really? Like, really? That's what you're gonna say to me? That's gonna be your response? That you smell like a girl now? But anyway, true story on that too, but that happened yesterday also. So I just wanted to say that. All right. So yes, but this oil, y'all, you're gonna love this oil. Now, my babies, when I had them to try that oil, my youngest gave me an A, but my oldest, however, he gave me a B. I think he said a B or a C, and I'm like, why did I don't know why, but I had to like mess with him on that one because I'm like, why I didn't get an A? Like, why you didn't give me an A? And he finally said, well, I don't like the smell. But I think the reason why, because it does, I'm just going to be very transparent. It does smell like a floral scent, which floral, when you think of floral, who loves floral? The ladies do. Men's don't, you don't find a man walking around smelling like a floral scent. I mean, if we're going to be very transparent out here and just put that all out there like that, you don't find men wanting to wear floral scents. All right. And so this one does smell girly. All right. I'm just going to be honest. It does smell girly, but it smells very, very darn good to me. Like, it smells good. All right. And so you're going to fall in love with this oil. And yes, when you putting it on, y'all, it does feel calming. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels really calming. All right. So you're going to fall in love with this oil. And as you're putting it on your hair going to smell really, really good. And your body going to smell really, really good. You're going to fall in love with this. Oh, I can't kid you not. All right, but it is called Keke Floral Harmony Oil, Hair and Body Oil. So this is my latest oil here. Just got made Friday. All right, so it is out. It is ready. I'm ready. You can buy it today if you want to. All right. So I just wanted to say that. All right. So that is all my oils, but I wanted to break each of them down, give you be very detailed with you, be very transparent with you on each oil and everything like that. All right. So pair any of these regular scalp massages to boost circulation and help nutrients reach your follicles. All right. And remember, hair growth is a journey, not a sprint. So patience is the key. I'm going to say that again. Hair growth is a journey, not a sprint. So patience is the key. So you're going to have to be patient with your stuff when it comes to if you are dealing with hair breakage or even hair loss. You're going to have to be patient with yourself and just realize it's going to take time. No, do we like hearing that? No. And this is coming from a girl that is not patient at all. Like, when I'm dealing with anything, I want it to go away quickly. If I'm dealing with pain, I want it to go away quickly. And I know a lot of you probably like, okay, that's me too. So of course, nobody wants to be in pain. So I'm pretty much sure there's going to be almost just about every single one of you agree with me on that one. All right. But even when it comes to like dealing with like rashes or dealing with a hair loss, you want it to go away immediately. All right. But the truth of the matter of it is, it's not going to go away immediately. You got to figure out what's the culprit, what was causing it, and then when you have that figured out, then you have to figure out, okay, there's a healing process behind it, right? A healing journey behind it. So you gotta allow it time to heal. You gotta allow it time to start seeing results. And how you see results, you take action on doing proper health measures or proper ways on how you can start seeing results. All right. So and everything that I pretty much talked to you about will be good ways. So again, and I'm gonna go back and kind of just give you guys a little bit, because I know I did go a lot deep dive on you on my actual oils, but I wanted to kind of go back with you on the remedies and improvements, home improvements that you can use. All right, I want to kind of retouch on that because I think that's important. So scalp massages, I mentioned that, so definitely incorporate that. Moisture masks, incorporate the moisture mask. Protective styling, just being mindful of which protective styling you are utilizing and making sure that whatever protective styles you are using, make sure those are not the culprit either as to why you're losing your hair or why you're starting to see breakage. All right, so if you are doing braids, make sure the braids are loose. All right, if you're twisting, make sure you're not twisting too tightly. If you're doing a two-strand twist, make sure you're not doing it tightly, because you can even do two-strand twists tightly. I didn't say that previously, but I'm saying it now, so definitely make sure you don't do that. Buns, also making sure your buns are not done tightly. All right, that all of that, because all those things can be done tightly, and you don't want to do it tightly. All right, so if you do them, do it in a way where it's going to protect your hair and not harm your hair. All right, hopefully that makes sense. All right. Also, balanced nutrition. I mentioned that. That's important. Make sure that you incorporate protein-rich foods, leafy greens, and drink a lot of water. That's important. And then trim regularly. All right, definitely trim regularly. Okay, I just want to touch on all of those because I know I kind of, after I touched on those, I dive deep about my oils. All right, because I'm passionate about my oils. All right, moving forward. So let's do encouragement and takeaway. All right, so because I want y'all to get encouragement, and I also want to go over takeaway. All right, so I want you to know your hair story does not have to end with breakage or thinning. With the right care, consistency, and self-love, you can absolutely see improvement. All right, and I want you guys to know that. I want you guys to own that. All right, you can definitely see improvement. I don't want you to think that this is it. I'm doomed. Like, you know, my hair is falling out and there's no coming back from this. All right, I don't want you to think that way. I want you to know that your hair story doesn't have to end with a breakage, and it doesn't have to end with thinning. All right, that with the right care, again, I'm going to say that again, with the right care, consistency, and self-love, you will and you can see improvement. All right, I'm just going to say that. All right, so if you've been struggling, I encourage you to try one or two of these tips this week. All right, so try this week. That's your homework. That's your homework assignment. I want you to at least try one of these that I just went over. All right, massage, scalp massaging. All right, or trimming. All right, I touch healthy. Starting to incorporate healthy diets. All right, so I mentioned all of that to you guys. All right, so I want you to start incorporating these. All right, and you can start this week. All right, at least two of these. Okay, meaning drinking more water. All right, if that is easy, and as much as this is coming from a girl that said, "Oh, I don't like water," and I do act like a baby when it comes to water. I'm just gonna be honest, I do, because I don't like it. All right, and I am a baby about it. All right, but it is an easy thing to do. All right, and it's in your benefit to do so. All right, and it's not just only about hair; it's about your overall health when it comes to water. You need water. All right, so definitely, all right, incorporate at least two of these things that I just mentioned to you guys. It's important. All right. So what else I want to say? So yeah, at least incorporate two of these tips this week. Track your progress. All right, so I want you to keep a journal. All right, and or get a notebook. All right, so if you don't have an actual journal, get a notebook. All right, you can get those at the Dollar Tree. I mean, I'm just being honest, being very transparent here. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. All right, but get you a little notebook or even a journal. All right, because you can even buy journals at the Dollar Tree. All right, and just track your progress. Track it. It's important. I tell my clients this all the time when it comes to their skin. Track the results of your skin. Like, That's how you're gonna know. All right. And so I'm spitting things out to you that I clearly tell my clients. All right. It's important. All right. So track your progress and give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. That's hard to do. Coming from a girl that has trouble doing so, give yourself grace. All right. Hair is a reflection of your overall health. So treat it and yourself with kindness. Can't stress that enough, y'all. All right, beauties. That is all for today's episode of Keke's Talk. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend who might need a little hair encouragement. And do not forget to follow me on Facebook at Keke Beauty Care Expert for more tips, tutorials, and product demos. Until next time, remember, your beauty starts from within. All right. And I am here to help you. Let it shine on the outside. I love y'all. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. So, because I'm here to help y'all. I really am. All right. So I love y'all. So until next time. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.